Welcome back, everyone. Getting an education is an important value. Whether you decide to go through the traditional route by going to college or university, or decide to go the trade school route where you can learn a skill to make a living. In some cultures, unfortunately, girls or women, they don't value an education for them as important. They actually prefer the normal gender roles by being homemakers. There's nothing wrong with being a homemaker, but if you as a woman or a girl who wants to be educated, well, then you might run into a problem if you're in a culture that values boys or men in the traditional gender role. Today's Reddit story is exactly about that. The OP is in that same situation where in her culture, education in general was not considered to be important. Now let's get to it. It's from the subreddit, Am I the A-hole? And it's titled, Am I the A-hole for suing my parents for my college money? My great aunt set up savings account for all of her female relatives. In our culture, education for women is not really valued, and she thought that was BS. She lived with her father in London, where she was educated. She went on to attend university and became a doctor. She married a British man, they moved to America, and had a great life. She funded the education of as many of her niece and grannies as she could. When she passed away, she left money for every girl relative she could. My parents managed to access the accounts that were set up for my sister and I. They used it to pay for my brother's wedding. My sister didn't care because she got married 2 years out of high school and had no intention of going to college. When I graduated, I went to the bank to get money for school and it was almost all gone. There was like $13,000 left. I asked my parents about it and they said they had needed the money. I finally found out where the money went. I got furious. I got student loans and moved out. I am a great source of shame to them and I don't give two Fs. I am currently suing them for money that was left for me. My entire family is against me. They all think I am a complete a-hole for airing private family business in public, and that I am putting money ahead of family. My friends are all on my side, but they are all Americans and don't really get my culture. Neither do I, but to be honest. My brother called me up and offered to pay for my university if I drop the lawsuit. I agree as long as we have a legally binding contract. He said I was being an a-hole for not trusting him. I said he should not have accepted my money for his wedding. It is causing all kinds of embarrassment in our community. I am somewhat ashamed to be doing this, but I don't want to have this debt I should not have. Now let's see what some of the comments say before I give my comments. First comment says, not the a-hole. Your parents didn't borrow your money. They stole it. I hope you have all the documents to show that money was yours. Your brother is also the a-hole for trying to get you to drop the lawsuit with what is most likely a lie. If you have a chance to start life without student debt, you do whatever you can to do that. Your parents, and I'm sorry, but their culture sounds completely toxic. I'm glad you got out. The OP responds, the student law center at my university is helping me with everything. I have proof that the money was mine. I am trying to do everything I can so this does not become a criminal matter. Another Redditor jumps on and says, I'm sorry, but this is a criminal matter. If this was for American University, you're talking $200,000 to $300,000. Death of that much is jail time. And then another comment is, and to spend it on a wedding? What a total waste of money. Not the a-hole. And then another comment says, a wedding is just a party. If you can afford a big one, good for you. But it's still just a party. That, unconscionably, that OP's parents would have taken the money that over funding an education. Even worse, that they weaseled their way into an account that wasn't theirs. It's grand theft. Personally, to me, whatever the OP's culture is from, I feel bad for the OP. That money is life-saving money to help her with her education. She's trying to better herself. And with the money that her parents stole for a wedding for the brother, that just shows how much the parents really valued OP. They see their son as more important than their daughter. They're not treating the kids equally. And like all the other commenters have said, they basically stole from her. And that is definitely a criminal matter. And I really hope that OP does get back the money that she deserves. And to think that, getting an education, you're trying to better yourself, the money that was taken, although I don't know how much it is, to me, it sounds like it's gonna be life-saving, that she wouldn't have to take student loans if her parents didn't steal it from her. Oh, this makes me so angry. Like, how can you as a parent do that? But then, I guess, on the other side, cultural differences. I actually I'm grown up here in the U.S., so my mindset is quite different from traditional Asian cultures, I can say. Super traditional, like old school fashion way, like going with the normal gender roles type of thing. I'm totally not about that. And luckily my parents are not like that. My parents valued education, whether it's for a daughter or a son. My parents treated both my brother and I as equal. They paid for my education. They value what a college education means. If I decide to go to like graduate school after getting my bachelor, they will do anything to help me fund it and not have me accumulate student debt, because they know how hard it is to get out of it. So for the fact that the parents in this case stole money from OP's account just to fund basically a party for one of their other child, that's just so ridiculous. However, the OP does give an update to this situation. So let's get into it. So there's an update from the OP, and it says, "It's over. I got my money. I have also pretty much been disowned by my family, but I consider that as a win as well. My parents end up having to mortgage some property to pay me back for what they stole. My family is embarrassed that I forced them to the point after they had offered to pay me back in installments. Nobody is willing to answer me when I ask what would make my parents pay me back if I was stupid enough to trust them. I have been told that I will never find a husband from our culture with my attitude and strident independence. I laughed. I do not want anything to do with that culture except perhaps enjoy the food. I plan on never returning to that country. I am enjoying the independence I have achieved and am more than happy to know that several other of the young women in my family have taken steps to lock down the education funds left for them. For those of you that think it is sexist that my great aunt only cared about educating women, please die angry." Wow. You know what? Good for OP. I'm glad. Now let's see what some of the commenters have to say about this update. First comment says, "It always cracks me up when someone does something terrible and then gets mad when they get caught because of how it looks to other people. As though it's perfectly fine to be lower than garbage as long as no one finds out." So true. "How dare you make people mad at me for the things I did and said. Lol. Let's see. Another comment says, yeah, that always bemused me. How about not being an effing dickbag, thus never having to endure the shame of people finding out you're a dickbag? That's pretty funny. Another comment says, nah, it's easier for them if the wrong party just shuts up like the nice obedient child they are, especially if they are a girl or young women. Not being a dick takes too much effort for them. That is so true. I'm so glad that OP was able to get back her money from her parents because she totally deserves it. And I'm glad that the other female family members in the family is also finding ways to lock down their accounts so their parents or other relatives can't access it and go through what the OP had to go through. Because that sounds terrible. The OP is breaking the cycle of toxicity. She got away from all the toxic people. She's happier. And her parents basically already broke the trust. There is no going back. There was no going back starting from the time that they stole money from her. And I'm so happy that OP gets to be who she wants to be, and she stays strong and did not give in to the pressure of her brother or her parents. You know what? It's like karma. It comes back. You stole money from your daughter, and she's asking it for back because it's rightfully hers. Yeah, you deserve whatever happens to you because you are a terrible parent. Let me know what you guys think about this story. I would love to hear about it in the comment. And remember to continue to like and subscribe if you like these type of stories. I'll see you later.